Marco Gonzalez does not believe in victims' rights. There's like 30 victims' rights. Never one time has he ever told me about any of the victims' rights. Tell me about, hey, why don't we see the initial incident report? Did you all file any incident reports? Out of all those times I called the police, did you ever file any charges on anybody? Noble Havens definitely did his thing, but what about all those other things that had happened after that main thing had happened? For 6 months, I could go and build my house because Tecumseh was watching over my house. Once you murdered my security, the person that was doing the police, the person that was protecting and serving, then I wasn't allowed to go shop at the grocery store or go get lumber. Why? Well, Phil Greeny kept on driving out every time I would anytime I would go to fix my fence, anytime I would go for a bicycle, or, ride or walk my dogs. That piece of shit's stalking and abusing me and doing it fucking nonstop, and I haven't got any peace. And I've been having to fight this fucking case nonstop, and I'm over here by myself, but he keeps fucking 50 miles away. He keeps driving by my fucking house non-fucking stop, day in and day out. Oh, I'm supposed to pretend that it's not fucking happening, huh? I'm supposed to... Michael Gonzalez wants to fuck me over, so he's okay with all this fucking crazy shit happening. It's fucking bullshit how people treat you. Michael Gonzalez doesn't believe in enforcing Colorado's Bill of Rights, especially Article 2, Section 13 or Article 2, Section 6. He doesn't believe that citizens have a right to the court system. Only lawyers and cops. 46,000 souls, the whole lot of you. Basically everybody and all regular folks, working class people, middle class on down. Michael Gonzalez does not believe you have a right to bear arms in defense of home, person, and property, or in the aid of the civil authority. He doesn't believe in victims' rights. He doesn't believe you have access to the courts. You better get a lawyer or a cop, or he ain't gonna do shit for you. You're just a regular peasant, poor citizen, nobody. You're just a citizen from Mineral County. You're just from Alamosa. Who the hell are you? You're from Saguache. Marco Gonzalez rejected the juror questionnaire. He pretended that waiving my right to a speedy trial for another 6 months was in my best interest. Hey, Marco Gonzalez, if you care so much about me, why don't you just dismiss this case? He also told the public defender to not get any bright ideas for some reason. Why? Because Marco Gonzalez pretended like me getting a lawyer was in my best interest. Again, he keeps on, no, it's in your best interest. It's in your best interest for fucking months. Marco Gonzalez and Alonzo Payne both were pushing for me to get a lawyer, get a lawyer, get a lawyer. I called motherfucking 24 lawyers maybe. But that's interesting. Why is Marco Gonzalez, he just wants me to plead out. He wants to fatigue me down to plead out so the system could save a little bit of face. So him pushing me to get a lawyer, Alonzo Payne and Marco Gonzalez was pushing me to get a lawyer because lawyers are less powerful than the pro se defender. That's pretty fascinating, isn't it? A pro se defender is more powerful than a lawyer. Apparently, Marco Gonzalez thinks that he could twist a lawyer's arm. My lawyer, which is fucked up, so I'm going to get a lawyer, and then he's going to try to get my lawyer to fuck me over, and then I guess my buddy, that's my advocate. If my advocate is trying to fuck me over, then I guess, I wonder how many times he's done that. I pay a lawyer, and then he gets the fucking lawyer to fuck over the client. So it seems like being a pro se defender is very intelligent. Defend yourself. When I told him Consilja and Consilja charged $4,500, he basically told the whole game. Wouldn't you rather plead out? Why don't you cut a deal? Why would you want to pay Consilja and Consilja $4,500 a day? Michael Gonzalez, if you care so much, yeah, I know you want a lawyer because you care so much about me and you're going to make sure I don't have to spend all this money, boy, you care so much. If you care so much about me, dismiss the case. I'm too old to have a blind belief in authority. He's told me nothing. I've been trying to, figure out what he believes in. I don't even know if he believes if murder is wrong. There's like 6 murder charges in Colorado. So thou should not murder. That's good. If you're a Christian, that at least tells me that you think murder is wrong and stealing is wrong and you can't go around stealing people's spouses. So but I've been able to, Johnny Laws, don't steal, don't murder, don't rape, and don't hit. Do you agree with those 4? Can we build a society on those 4? Or are we just going to play games where only the cops and the lawyers matter and none of the people, none of the 46,000 people just 100 of the lawyer class, just 100 people of the courthouse clique. Meanwhile, 46,000 people, the bulk of the masses, they don't get any breaks whatsoever. He pretends to give me a break. Hey, why don't you get a break? They're sniffing me. What are you trying to do, motherfucker? First time he ever gave me a break. He never gave me a break before, and I'm just sitting there in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything. What do I need a break from? If anything, why don't you, listen, we're trying to move this case along. Over 12 appearances, and if $4,500 is what they charge, so over 12 appearances, that's $50,000 in legal fees. Good thing I represented myself. That would have cost me $50,000, and I actually wrote really good legal briefs. Not only was there 12 appearances, $50,000 in legal fees, but they took my guns and all my ammunition. So they looked at Anne Frank and said, "Okay, Anne Frank, you better give us that stick you got there. You're not allowed to have a stick." So they've left me even more vulnerable to the pieces of shit that murdered my fucking puppy, doing drive-by shootings and spotlighting, and fucking who I suspect is Phil Greeny, Kenny Capin, Troy Zinn, Samuel fucking Jepson, Heckerman, Bertini, Roman. Those are some of the suspects. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, they can't go around committing crimes against me. They have to go through all this shit too. So we'll just say Noble Havens. Noble Havens is not telling the truth. That's a crime, right? Let's pick on Robert Pickerel. I know for a fact he committed crimes. How come when I say that person committed a crime, nobody arrests him? Nobody takes all of his guns or his rifle or his crossbow. Robert Pickerel has a crossbow and he had a rifle. But he's a convicted felon. What was he convicted of? Let's just compare the background checks. They did several instant background checks. One super duper deep dive fingerprint background check. And I haven't been able to get a background on any of them. I haven't been able to get a license plate on any of them. They could just type it in and get it immediately. And they're not impressed with my squeaky clean record. Yep. I'm not like your fucking pieces of shit asshole friends around here, motherfucker. They also made me bond out with the $5,000 bail bond. Robert Pickerel didn't get that. What about Noble Havens? Is Noble Havens going to get summoned? Is he even going to get summoned? Is he going to get in any trouble whatsoever for covering this whole thing up? The worst thing you could ever have is a Noble Haven come to the scene. You do not need Noble Havens coming to the scene. He will cover up for his criminal buddies, and he'll fuck over the victim. And then once the victim has no police protection, then the criminals just fucking go hog wild. When I went to jail, the gang members there were getting special privileges. Why are the gang members in your jail getting special privileges? 3 Kings and the Cineolo, they get fucking special privileges? Are the jailers and the cops and the judges, and are they a part of the gangs? Is that why all this is happening to them? I'm not a part of the Cineolo or the 3 Kings gang? Because none of this makes any sense to me. How's Michael Gonzalez going to ignore dozens of felony menacing that happened against me time and time again before and after September 17th? He denied me a dispositional hearing, denied me a preliminary hearing. How's he going to continue being a dick to me and fucking me over and jerking my chain and then doing nothing to any of the people committing real fucking crimes? I fired 3 warning shots to a person that was messing with me at my house. I was walking my dogs in my backyard. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not pulling this stupid shit. Driving over to your house and killing your puppy and doing drive-by shootings and driving by right now. Even I live 50 miles away and they still drive by with loud ass fucking engines. If I'm a cop, I stop that person and ask him a couple questions. But since I don't have police protection, if I try to stop that person, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, he was going to attack me and I had to defend myself." Cops have unlimited state authority. And look how they're freaking out over goddamn warning shots. If I would go out there, I'm allowed. If citizens arrest these people, you think he's going to go ahead and rubber stamp them? Well, you did arrest him, so we're going to go ahead and take all of his guns away, give him a $5,000 bond. We're going to give him 12 appearances, do a background check and a fingerprint background check, and once we do all this stuff and and then we're not gonna, once I pass all your fucking tests, do y'all become fucking regular and decent and normal, or y'all just keep on being a bunch of creepy fucking, and they're rude as hell. Michael Gonzalez and Kim Woods are rude as hell. Not showing a shred of fucking mercy. Just rubber stamping is all they're... So basically, if the trend continues, I'm not going to get any police protection for my wife and my kids. Some fucking little Xanax piece of shit motherfucker stalker can stalk me the whole fucking time. And they're going to stalk my family. I'm not going to have any piece of security. I've had no presence of justice for a long time, but at no point in time in the San Luis Valley. So he's biased as hell. He is biased as hell. That's not fair. That's fucking bullshit. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Whatever they've done to me, Alonzo Payne declared in open court. I said, hey, Jim Dostal's going to be my lawyer. I got a lawyer. It's Jim Dostal. Alonzo Payne was like, yes. Yeah, we're going to get him to turn. And Jim Dostal tried to turn me. He was going to take $1,000 or $2,000 and just get me to plead out. What the fuck was the point of that? Just to fuck me over? Take my money just to fuck me over? And then Michael Gonzalez, his main thing is he wants everybody to get in there and just, you was a bad boy, wasn't you? Yeah, well, I'm so sorry. Well, you're going to do better, aren't you? Yeah, I try, and nobody's told you, nobody tricked you. You're saying this on your own volition, right? Motherfucker. He's fucking over people with consciences. He's fucking over people that's ignorant. He's fucking over poor people. He's cheating the whole time. When I turned in the fair and even-handed trial motion, he was going to deprive me of a recross or a re-examination. When do you not do a recross? But he's trying to protect the 5 police officers and the complainant, because at least those 6 people and me, that's at least 7 people that have to show up for the trial. If they reject everything, he's done 12 of 16, so that means he's accepted some motions, so I feel like the only thing that they're going to allow are the things that are just so freaking obvious. Of course you're allowed to subpoena, but not like that, and not with that form, and not that way. Of course you're allowed to have a jury trial, but, and I get 12 jurors. And it's got to be unanimous decision. It's got to be unanimous decision, 12 jurors, and the prosecution has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Krista, she said she couldn't disprove that it was self-defense with Gallegos, right? The hamburger stand, Felix Gallegos. She couldn't disprove that it was self-defense. They can't disprove that it was self-defense because it was self-defense and a private police action. Alonzo Payne didn't pass along information that the complainant didn't want me to serve jail time. Ricardo Rivera's like, this is a very serious matter. Yet when I told him about the crimes that happened, he didn't care about me being a victim. He didn't tell me about victims' rights. He didn't say, damn it, that's bullshit. Let's get some justice for you. No, let's go after these bad guys. Nah, fuck that. They can't fuck you over like that. They murdered your puppy for no reason. You might have got an argument, but you didn't hurt nobody, right? Okay, what the fuck? So Ricardo Rivera's trying to, take a little tiny thing and make a huge thing out of it. Oh, it's very serious, huh? But the complainant didn't want me to serve any jail time. I have to serve at least 1 year of jail time, guaranteed. It's a class 5 felony. It's a minimum of at least 1 year in jail, which is why I am entitled to a preliminary hearing. But he's cheating. He's not going to give me a preliminary hearing. He's not going to let me ask these cops and this complainant a single question. That's fucked up. If I just arrested a person and dropped him in front of him, you think he'd ask me a single question? You think he would ask a couple questions of anybody? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you don't like me arresting a person and then you... Article 2, Section 6 says it guarantees every person has a right to access to Colorado courts. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't say citizen. It says every person. It doesn't just say the 100 or 200 cops and lawyers or judges in the valley get to use the behemoth criminal justice system. It says 46,000 people. Every single individual soul gets to use the criminal justice system. And it's a justice system. It's not a legal system. We're not just playing games here. The law is blind and the scales of justice are equally balanced. Everybody must obey the law, regardless of station or status. Michael Gonzalez can't murder. He can't steal. And he can't go attack people. And he can't rape people. Whether he thinks those are crimes or not. It's in Colorado law. It goes against my moral beliefs. It goes against my understanding of Colorado law. It'd be nice if I could get some reassurance. But he's a couple years older than me. He's been living on Easy Street. He don't know. He's not afraid of my darkness. He's afraid of my light. He's afraid that I'm a smart and respectable and innocent person that doesn't deserve to be treated like this. And my God, they don't have a case at all. Maybe he could just twist my arm long enough and get me to... I'm just kind of sick of all the fuck... Well, who would want to live around here? You're getting stalked. You got a fucking chief judge not giving a shit, trying to fuck you over. You got a stalker trying to fuck you over. A chief judge trying to fuck you over. Crimes keep happening against you. There seems to be no end to the crimes. There seems to be no... I mean, am I going to get police protection? Thank you, Conejos County, by the way, for having your shit together. The Democrats don't seem to be able to say crime is bad, so at least the Conejos County Republicans can get that far. I feel safer here. It was happening day in and day out over there at fucking Democrat County. But here in Republican County, here in the Rabbit County, it's only been a couple, once every month or so. So thank you, Conejos County, for having your shit together, for being against crime, and being, fucking moral enough to say that crime is bad. Of course crime is bad. Jesus Christ. And I wish more people would fire some warning shots in self-defense of people that are doing hooligan, And, anyways, what am I saying? Michael Gonzalez for over a year has been threatening me with 3 years in jail and a $100,000 fine because I fired some warning shots in self-defense. Meanwhile, people have come over here, shot 13 times. Pow, 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 pow. Shot a rifle shot. Pow! This guy over here, black SUV, 3 shots, towards me that I could hear whiz by my head. At least 2 times over there, Kenny Cape and Robert Pickrell. Even when I got arrested, the cops had 5 guns on me. 5 AR-15s. They're acting like this was my balls to the wall last fucking hurrah. If anything, I thought that this opened the door up for me. Somebody was messing with me. I backed them off. I jumped up on the top of my roof of my truck and I said, I'm going to walk my dogs whenever the hell I feel like it. I'm tired of people messing with me. I'm tired of people messing with me every single... Danny Sanchez wouldn't know that Phil Greeny was doing that day in and day out. But if Danny Sanchez was in my yard and I went out for a walk, a peaceful little walk in my backyard, and now you got creepy creeps jumping in his truck and driving around. Now Danny Sanchez goes up. It's, what you doing? What are you doing out here? No, what legitimate business? Why are you driving? Are you harassing him? Is that what you're doing? Ask some tough questions. Do some gentle probing. But ultimately, Michael Gonzalez, by denying justice in the courts of justice to the ethical and the lawful, Michael Gonzalez is creating the conditions to let the right-wing sovereign movement fester and grow and come right back into Costilla County. Why? Because they're fucking over the ethical and the lawful. They're fucking over the respectable. I paid all them damn permits in planning and zoning and didn't get a single fucking bit of police protection. Why would anybody walk into Costilla County and say, I'm going to do things the right way? It pissed off people in planning and zoning, pissed off the cops, pissed off the neighbors. Everybody was mad at my light. Oh, you think you're better than everybody. I don't. No, I don't. I'm just doing it legally, so I'm covering my butt. But I'm not worried about you guys at all. Live your life however you want to live. And if, you don't want to do the thing, fine. I'm not going to. But now that they're trying to fuck me over, it's like, you guys are mad that I was lawful with planning and zoning. That's the only, none of this makes any goddamn sense. I mean, it makes some sense. You thought you knew a guy and he's a piece of shit and you still want to believe in the best in him and, people only know what they could see and what, people tell them or whatever, so. But how are you going to fight crime when you don't even hear about the crime? How are you going to stop felonies from happening when you don't even look at the felony charges? I mean, you can go out and arrest a person, or you could do a summons in lieu of an arrest, and they prefer a summons in lieu of an arrest. And so I did all the things that I was supposed to do correctly. But Michael Gonzalez is okay with crimes happening in the SLV. He's okay with crimes happening to a bunch of poor peasants that can't afford a lawyer or that can't convince a cop. I don't even think it mattered if I videotaped the culprit, Xanis and my neighbors, or Burroughs and my progeny. How can I institute justice if he maintains his ignorance? I'll have to do some extrajudicial thing, and then that makes me vulnerable. Now, they're freaking out over a couple warning shots. But there's some, gangsters out there, gangster wannabes out there, and they say, well, somebody ran over my dog, I'd go over their house and kick their ass. So, yeah, they didn't use the system at all. They handled their own, business. Is that how people are supposed to be? Because going through the proper channels hasn't worked at all. When I told Danny Sanchez I was going the legal route, he wasn't afraid. So is that why you're going to let the right-wing movement come in here because you're you're a bunch of racists? Is that what it is? You're just racist assholes? You want to steal people's money and fuck people over, and you don't know how to get along with people? What? I don't understand none of this makes any fucking sense. Michael Gonzalez has been biased against me for over a year. So when he was trying to fuck me over, my stalker's trying to fuck me over. When I leave this house, I had to have somebody watch the house, but that's perfect, right? Go over, see Michael Gonzalez, have the stalker take my stuff here. Fucking brilliant. I'm not allowed to call. I can't call it in, We just keep on trying to get a lawyer. You couldn't have told me that. You couldn't have emailed me that. He's ignoring the crimes against me to maintain his bias. He's prejudicial. He's been discriminating against me the whole fucking time. Because Robert Pickrell won't get arrested. I filed a complaint. Fucking 50 times I filed a fucking complaint. Robert Pickrell won't get his fucking guns taken away. He won't get a $5,000 fucking bond. He came in without listening to planning and zoning, told Colleen Romero to go fuck herself. He ain't gonna fucking listen to Colleen Romero. Get a fucking soil sample, get a cistern and a septic tank. He told Colleen Romero to fuck off. And he didn't say it. He just quietly moved in and, basically found a hole in the system. Me being a dumb, honest person, I said, hey, Colleen, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, I don't know, but give me $600 and maybe I'll fuck you over. You're going to fuck me over with the soil sample thing? I paid for a driver's access thing. I paid for a construction thing. And then when I had no security, I couldn't even use it. I couldn't even fucking build. How's that fair? How the fuck is that fair? If you're the right-wing movement, yeah, my God. You should fuck over the lawful person, obeying planning and zoning. Fuck over the respectable guy. You're fucking right-wing sovereign. You're a bunch of KKK fuckers. You like to do extrajudicial things. You don't care about fucking following the law and being good and decent to others. That's not what you're doing. You reject the whole state constitution. So when Michael Gonzalez said he was throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks, he was incorrect. I want a fair trial. But if he thinks that I'm just throwing random shit at the wall, then he's just going to reject this and that because he just don't want to. He's not making his decisions based on what's best for the jury trial or what's best, for goodness and honesty and decency in the community. I pissed off the Friend of Noble Havens, and then I asked Soto, and then I asked the sheriff. They didn't do shit. I asked the DA and the DA investigator. I asked Kim Woods. So now all these assholes are fucking against me. They're all pissed off and against me, and they're going to protect their fucking buddy, and they're going to, it's incredible. The guy that filed a complaint looks like he wrote his complaint in fucking Crown. I wrote the 5-page complaint. I talked to one cop, 2 cops, DA, fucking judge, talked to this person, that person. Nobody's listening. So I'll have to turn in, I'll just have to keep on going through the system, right? Email the victims' rights people. Maybe we'll have to, recall all these judges. He rejected the jury questionnaire. How are we supposed to figure out who's qualified? CRS 16553. Whole bunch of stuff they need to know in order to be fair. But he rejected it. Why? Because the prosecution said objection, and they're trying to fuck me over. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because a lot of shit's happened. Michael Gonzalez pretended like he was waiving my right to a speedy trial for another 6 months, like that was in my best interest. Motherfucker, I know it's not in my best interest, but it's your stupid game, and this is the dumb game that I fucking criticized that, and he wants me to keep on. But if he actually cared about me so much, he should dismiss the case. He's fucking lying to me, and it's fucking bullshit. I got abused by an oppressor just like this shit, and it's fucking bullshit. Do what I say, and you'll like me. You'll hang out with me. We'll go get some fucking pizza. No, you ain't gonna. You'll fuck me over for the rest of my life, is what you'll do. He acted like he was giving me a break. I go out there sniffing on me. I was supposed to go out there and tie off real quick. You can't say that to me. What do you mean? He's throwing motions down one after another, trying to get me to content myself. Why? Just show off for Shelly Quintana. I told her my beloved Tecumseh was murdered. She didn't give a shit. This whole $1 billion system, she rejected. She made sure I didn't get any use of it. But that's Michael Gonzalez's culture. So I can't be mad at her. The only thing that when I think about Shelly Quintana, I kind of think about a lot of Caucasian women. A lot of Caucasian women who have positions of authority, whether it's in business, corporations, or government. And, they shit on their husbands and they're abusive to their husbands and they get into positions of authority. And she comes up and she's behind this plexiglass. And she comes up like she's a victim and she kind of stands like 5 feet back like, yeah, I don't know you. What do you want? And then I match people's energy. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. What do you want? What do I want? What do you want? And, sometimes people could be scared because they're, actually kind of, small and scared of the world. But I think some people are scared because they're fucking dickheads and they get used to being dickheads to the, people that love them. And then somebody else comes along and it's like, oh, I want to be a dickhead to this one too. But you got to actually treat me correctly because that's not fair. There were some bail shenanigans. He wouldn't let me argue the grand jury motion. Soto said that bail would be $3,000. It turned out to be $5,000. So I don't know if he just wanted me to spend a day in jail, but fucking shit. If my mother didn't come and fly in from Kentucky, I bet you that would have stayed in jail for months and days and weeks. They would have yelled at me and do this and do that. And the very first day, they acted like they was going to take me in back and start raping me. I've been raped by a jailer before in Louisville. That's what these motherfucking right-wing fascist sons of bitches, these oppressor molesters, these nozo-chomos, that's what these fascist perverts, it's what they do. It's what they fucking do. I can't stand oppression. Had a family member not come from Kentucky, I probably would have had to stay in jail, and then when they would have beat me up or tried to rape me or something, then I would have said that's what happened. They would have ignored it, and they would have picked sides, and I would have been fucked for the rest of my fucking life. Background checks have been unfair. They've done background check on me 5, 6, 7 fucking times, and I can't even get background checks from them, not the regular background checks. And they did like a deep dive background check. I want a super deep dive background check on them too. What the fuck are you all doing? You're not being fair, motherfuckers. Talk about not known due process. When I said judge, talk about how secure, I was like, are you Mr. Gonzalez? Are you the chief judge, Mr. Gonzalez? He goes, Judge Gonzalez. Okay, Your Honor, if it pleases the court, Judge Gonzalez, fucking dickhead. I said Mr. I gave you all the fucking respect in the world, and then he wanted more respect. Okay, that was weird. It's Judge Gonzalez. Didn't you have a brother who was all about restorative justice? Where's he? I want that Judge Gonzalez. He seems like a good judge. Wayne Bryant says that judges should be judicial referees. Michael Gonzalez doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe in a justice system. It's a legal system. And he doesn't believe in a what? I forgot. I have to go back and listen to this again. So, just how much shit, how many things do I have to endure to realize, he don't love me. He don't like me. He doesn't care about me at all. He thinks he's getting 6 figures to fuck anybody over that the cops bring in to him. And he needs the cops to go arrest people because he's not going to arrest anybody. So when the cops arrest somebody, he's going to rubber stamp each and every one of them, because when he says, hey, cop, I need you to go after this person, they'll do it. And he's rubber stamped, a dozen of their cases. So when he asks, can you do a thing, they'll be all out to go do it. So it's a tit for tat thing. Alonzo Payne, Marco Gonzalez, they try to force a lawyer on me. First the public pretender, then the private attorney. I absolutely refuse the public pretender. He's been gunning for a plea bargain. And so when he hears, I got an agreement, and, but I feel like he doesn't understand. He thinks it's a modified judgment. No judgment at all. I'm not changing my plea, and I'm not withdrawing any of my rights. But he didn't want to really know what's going on. He got all excited thinking that I had offered him, and it was my offer. He's been a rude piece of shit. I want a jury trial because I want a trier of fact. I want to get down to the bottom of things. I don't know what the hell's going on. And even if I want to move away, let's say I want to go to Idaho, I'm not allowed to because I got a stalker piece of shit that keeps on driving by my fucking house. When I moved out here, I told a couple people who, the people that I liked that I was out here, it was hard for me to get them out here. But one of the motherfuckers from Castilla County knew I lived out here, had a big rig ready to pick up my fucking shed when I first came out here. Isn't that incredible? You're able to fucking do all this, get a shed, get a person to get the shed, and then some piece of shit has a fucking big rig ready to take your whole fucking shed? And then I'm supposed to pretend that that's normal and acceptable. That's the right-wing sovereign movement. Something's fucking going on, and for some reason, these motherfuckers seem to be okay with every bit of it. If I'm a cop or a judge or a lawyer, I'm an officer of the court, I'd be mad if there's crimes that was happening all over the place. So I'm still working on this case like my life depends on it, thinking of nothing else. I've got a self-imposed house arrest staying over here. It's crazy how much resources the system will waste on trying to fuck a person over. Not for their crimes, not for their darkness, but for their light, their hopefulness, their respectability. The fact that they respected planning and zoning, and they respected the Constitution, and they respected the state. County officials. Jealousy's a motherfucker. Jealousy's a motherfucker. So maybe it's all about jealousy. Because I'm tall, 6'1", is that what it is? Calling the other guy a victim. So innocent until proven guilty, that's thrown out the window. Michael Gonzalez doesn't believe in innocent until proven guilty. He had some finding of fact. He had a preliminary hearing in his closet, and then he brought that closet judgment with him to court, because there's been no hearings of fact so far. And I'd love to ask the complainant and the 5 cops a whole bunch of questions. Keep on ignoring me, pretending what? I don't fucking matter? When you're the person, you're the people that are okay with crimes. You're okay with crimes. That's fucking bullshit. You can't go around hurting people. So